Alright, here we are on our third lesson, which talks about the functions of human life. From the word life itself, what do you think? If your life means living things, so in this lesson we have 5 different functions of human life. So before we start, I want to say that um, I want to add note that biology is the study of life, okay? And despite its tremendous diversity, all living things perform the same basic functions and exhibit the same basic characteristics. So, these are the characteristics of life. There are actually more characteristics than this, but this is what I have on my list. Okay, so first is organization. So, in organization, we talk about organization last lecture, which on lecture 1.2. So, organization is the separation of one area from another. We as humans are organized, right? So, like we have organisms, cell, organ, and etc., where every part of that has a different control on each area. So let's review actually um, that. So this is the level of organization from our last lecture. So here we have chemical level, we have the hydrogen bonds, cellular level, when molecules, it forms cells, it forms organelles, when then organelles form cells. Next, when those cells are in together, they make tissues, which makes organs, and different types of organs makes the organ system. This is the excretory system. Then many organ systems together form into an organizational level, or organismal rather. But anyways, let's back here. So that's organization. So I suggest to watch our last lecture. Next is metabolism. So I have a different slide here, not actually my slide, but here. So here in metabolism, so that's like the chemical reaction in a cell or an organism, and it can be anabolic. So anabolic is this. As you can see, anabolic reactions are building reactions and they consume energy. So that's why. So anabolic are smaller and simpler molecules. These are simple, simpler molecules to create larger molecules, to create a more complex substance. But of course, it will require an energy, right? So when it requires energy, that's called endergonic, endergonic, and catabol. And the second one is we have the catabolism. So as you can see here, catabolic reactions break materials down and release energy. So, for example, we have food here. There's food. Food contains nutrients, and those nutrients has energy, and those food that has energy releases energy, and that's catabolism. Also, the term for releasing energy is exergonic. Okay, and it releases energy, which forms these smaller particles or molecules, and these molecules form into much larger molecules with more complex functions. That's why we got energy from catabolism, and those energy will be used on anabolism. So that's the metabolism process. So the energy that is called, let's be specific here, is called the ATP, or in longer terms is adenosine triphosphate. So it's the key to a chemical compound. The ATP is like um, a cell that is used to store and release energy. It's not actually a cell, but it's like some kind of storage for energy. When an ATP when that storage has when that storage has energy, that is called ATP. But if that if that storage area doesn't have any energy because that's used here, that's called ADP. Okay, that's called ADP, and the meaning of ADP is meaning ADP is adenosine diphosphate. Okay, so when we have anabolic process here, ADP is converted to ATP. Then in an anabolic, ATP is converted into ADP, and that ADP is going to go into a cycle. It's like a cycle. That's what we call the ADP ATP cycle. Okay, so ADP to ATP is anabolic, and ATP to ADP is catabolic. Okay. Next is we have this. Is so here characteristics exemplified here. In this picture, we can see marathon runners. So these runners demonstrate two characteristics of living humans. They are responsive and movement. Runners are responsive and they move. So responsiveness literally means to adjust in changes on its internal and external environment. So like they're responding to the environment. Like for example, moving toward food and water. So we need food and water, right? So like for example, body temperature. We sweat, so that's responsive. So that since we sweat because it's very hot, we need to cool down. So some liquids are going to get out, so that's what we call sweat. So that it maintains the homeostasis or the stability of our body. Next is the movement. We know what movement is. That's the intentional change in location or position. So that include not only physical movement, we also have movement in organs. Our heart beats for us to live, right? Or our lungs exhale for us to live. Okay. So next is we had done organization, metabolism. We're also done with responsiveness. Next is development, growth, and reproduction. So let's talk about it. So development. So development, growth, and reproduction are changes in the organism over the life cycle. So first, we need to develop. So development are all the changes in the body that goes through in life, like growth and repair, differentiation. Yeah. For example, our bodies are not fully developed when we were born, but we after we're born, like it develops. Like one example for that is um uh on when since we are babies, we could not talk, but now we are adults, we can now talk. So that's an improvement. And also, like for example, when we talk biologically, like let's say we have different kinds of cells. Some cells doesn't know what to do when we were first born, but as we go and mature, it develops. Those cells develops, and now they can now perform their specific functions. An example also is puberty. Puberty, we have for example, hairy, hairy armpits, and those that's also part of development. Okay, so development and growth are kind of synonyms, but growth means the increase in body size, not development doesn't care about size, but growth cares about size. As we grow, we are from very small, we're from an embryo, right? Then we go into full organisms just like that. So growth is the increase in body size to an increase in the number of existing cells. So yeah, growth as we grow old, we grow. And next, of course, as we grow, we would reproduce. And reproduction is the formation of the new organism from parent organism. So that's what we call sex. Okay, sex. When two parents of sperm cell and egg cell combine. Okay, because if we don't reproduce, our world would have no humans, right? If the last person on Earth would die. So we need to reproduce in order to produce the next generation. So we have uh, we have to be able to move about. So we have to distribute materials throughout large organisms, just like that. So we need to give it to another generation our thing. So that's the cycle of life. We develop, we grow, and we reproduce. So that's it actually. This is the functions of human life. A very short topic, but as usual, I'll give you a heads up on the requirements of human life, which we will tackle next meeting. Okay, so the next meeting we'll tackle about that. So that's it for functions of human life, and I'll see you in the next lesson.